What's up, guys? I just entered dad mode on my way to football practice, but before I get there, I really quickly, I just want to introduce you to this video that you're about to watch and kind of give you some background on it. This is a video I promise you will watch more than once, and you will revisit it again and again and again. And that's not because it's the most amazing delivery in the world, although I think I did a good job. And you could tell that I mean what I'm saying. It's from my soul. But because of the message itself, and again, this is just, I actually gave this message a couple years ago. I don't know where I heard it. I don't know where it came to my mind. I'm sure, I'm not trying to take credit for a new idea because I don't know if there's such thing as a new idea. But I gave this not a lecture, but I gave this training a couple years ago. And then for some reason, about 6 weeks ago, this idea, this framework, this what you're gonna hear came back to me. And it was at this pivotal time about 6 weeks ago. And it has literally been guiding every decision that I've made since. And it has been the most productive 4 weeks. I can look you in the eyes. I wish if I was looking at you in person, I could look you in the eyes or in the camera. And I can tell you this has been the most productive 4 weeks I've had in years. And it has been guided by what you're gonna watch in this video. It's simple. It's to the point. It's not anything that's revolutionary or sexy, but I promise you guys, it is going to change your life if you let it. So guys, I hope you enjoy the video. If there's any comments or any experiences that you have or have had with this or do have after watching this, I would love to hear about it in the comments. Go enjoy the video, and I'm gonna go to football practice. See you guys.
So what I want to talk about today is doing what's right versus doing what's easy. Okay, a framework for making decisions and for living your life. So as I've been thinking, I've been pondering over this concept, and I'm going to tell you about today for me specifically and this week. But as I've been pondering this exact thing, this line, which is doing what's right, not what's easy. It's a powerful line. And I've been thinking, and as I started thinking more and more, I realized the greatest things that have happened to me in my life, okay, which by the way, also ironically are the most satisfactory, okay? Those have come as a result of making that hard decision to do what was right versus what was easy. Let me repeat that. The greatest. I'm not talking about some of, I'm talking about the greatest. You guys remember my live stream, and some of you that just joined watched it recently, Exhausted but Satisfied. Do you know that every single one of the moments that I can trace back to that it started with choosing what was right, not what was easy? So first of all, how do you define what is right? Okay, because choose what is right, not what is easy. So what is right? How do you define what is right? Okay, this isn't a religious sermon. This isn't a whatever. It isn't. I'm not going there. It's not what this is about. What I'm gonna propose to you guys is we look at the word right and we define the word right as the things that get you closest to your goal. Okay, so for example, doing something that is right is something that you need to do that's going to push the needle. It's going to push the needle on you getting closer to your goal. That's how we're going to define right. It's not about like all these random, like that is how we're going to define it. Okay. And that's how I define it in the context of business. Okay. Now you can take this and swim with it into your personal life, but I'm talking about business. Okay. So we're going to define it as that is what is right. How do we make decisions on a consistent basis? What if we made decisions on a consistent basis? And our one framework was, let me do what's right versus what is easy. AKA, let me do the thing or the things that are going to get me closer to my goal versus what's easy. Okay. And that is very challenging. It's a very simple framework, but it's really, really hard to do. So I'm going to give you guys a couple examples. Okay. I'm going to give you some examples that I did a couple years ago. I'm going to give you some examples that I did today, literally with this framework. And I'm not perfect at it, but I'm telling you, as you use this framework and as your decisions are made based on this framework, you are not only going to get the closest, you're going to get to your goals the fastest, you're going to get as close as possible, the quickest, but you're also going to be the most fulfilled. It's going to be the most satisfying. When you lay your head on the pillow, you guys have all had those days where like It's been exhausting and it feels shitty because you did a whole bunch of stuff that didn't move the needle, right? You just ran and called and fire. You've also been on the other end where you get done, like for me yesterday, and it was like boom, 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 boom. That was shitty, but I needed to do it, and I got closer to my goal, and I laid my head on my pillow, and it was a damn good day, okay? We need to string more of those together, but I'm going to give you a couple ideas. So as you can, I want you to ponder over these, okay? And I want you guys, get your dang pens out, get your notebook. I want you guys to take something from this. Everyone's going to take something different. Everyone's going to have different ideas that they're going to want to apply, and you guys got to apply stuff from this call, okay? I'm not wasting my time being on here just to hear myself talk, okay? I could go record myself and just keep rewatching it, which I do for fun anyway. Okay, so a couple things a couple ideas, okay? Doing what is right instead of what was easy, for me, was the decision back in 2017 on July 28th when I sat down with my wife and she said, it's time for you to go get a job. It's time for you to start taking care of the family. It's time for you to stop chasing the pipe dream. The easy thing was to go and call my buddy Brad, who I literally had a position for a decent amount of money, salary guaranteed. I hadn't made money in, I don't know how long. I hadn't made money. I'd been spending. The easy thing was to go take that job, right? But guess what? My goals didn't match that. If I would have taken that job, I would have taken a step back, okay, instead of a step forward. I knew for me to hit the goals I wanted to hit, I had to be an entrepreneur. So I made the hard decision, and it wasn't easy to go and get $3,000 in 3 days. Of course it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy to go and sell myself to the devil and build an SEO company for 6, 7, 8, almost a year to pay the bills. That wasn't easy, okay? But I did it. That was one example. I did it because it was the right thing to do, right being it got me closer to my goals. Another example, with that same situation, the right decision when I had this situation, I had $60,000 in debt, y'all. $60,000 in debt. I had taken money from people. The developer, he fucked me over. And I know you guys hear these stories like people talk about starting businesses and they're like, yeah, my partner screwed me. And I didn't believe it either. Guys, I literally paid this guy $50K, nothing, not a line of code, nothing, right? I had sold clients, I had contracts, I was spending the money to live, and I had nothing, right? Okay. The right thing to do was to pay the money back and get $60,000 in debt, not be a little bitch and file bankruptcy. That was the right thing to do because I didn't want to put myself back. I didn't want to have to deal with that. If I wanted to buy rental properties and I want to do all this stuff, I didn't want that on my credit. Okay. And it just didn't sit well with me. That was the right thing to do. It got me closer to my goal. I don't know where I'd be today if I hadn't. Okay. So that's another idea. Okay. One of the biggest ones for me, and I've talked about this so many times, I'll talk about it again. The decision I made in December of 2019, where I literally called and I said, and you guys know Shiv from JK. You guys know who that is. I called him and I said, dude, I'm tired of this. And I was doing Paperly and I was doing SEO and I was making like 8 to 10K a month. But I'm like, I'm tired of this game, man. I'm tired. Put people on my calendar. I'm a sales guy and I wanted to do what was easy. What was easy for me was to go and sell, to show up in the morning, to not think about it, to have people on my calendar and to just go sell. That was easy. That was the easy decision. The right decision was to tell him, you know what, man, I know that I could get to 20K quicker, but my goal is to get to 100K a month. And I did the math and I knew I would never get to 100K being a sales guy for somebody else. I knew I wouldn't. So I didn't do it. And I buckled down and I figured out, and I knew flat fee was the game. And I grinded and I grinded and I tried and failed. And April 15th or April 20th or whatever day I pitched Alex in Asheville happened and the light bulb went off. And that was the moment that everything changed. But that's because I made the right decision to get me closer to my goals. Okay. A couple more. Guys, when I started this group, we're going to August of this year. I knew, and you guys know what I'm talking about. I knew I was going to get kicked out of other groups. You guys know what I'm talking about. I knew that me making the decision to start this group, let me talk about the free group and eventually this group. Me deciding to start that group, I knew I was going to get kicked out. And I thought there was a lot of value in that other group. I believe it or not, I don't love when people hate me. I don't want people coming after me. I don't want people, whatever, on my family. But I knew for me to go to my goals, for me to get to my next goal, this was what I needed to do. I needed to start this group. I had to. And that was more important for me. And this may sound funny. This may sound like I'm making this up, but the easy thing would be to not do this. I had people hit me up. I had a couple people in that group. They're like, dude, are you crazy? Like, have you not seen what happens to other people that start groups? Are you out of your mind? Like, have you? And I'm like, well, first of all, I was straight with that person. I told him straight up what I was going to do because I needed to do it. Making that decision of getting to my goal of $1 million a month, which I'm not to yet, this had to happen for me to get there. I had to create the free group, and I didn't have a program in mind. I didn't know what I was going to do. I just knew I needed to do it, and that was a hard freaking decision, and it got my ass kicked out, and I knew there was going to be repercussions, and I didn't give a shit because that was more important, and I made the right decision versus the easy decision. Okay, let me give you one more. In December, okay, when I decided to launch this Flat Fee Mastery, guys, I wasn't ready. I was not ready. You think I was ready to launch this? Like, in my head, I knew all the steps. I've been doing it for 2 years. But I had all the same excuses that you guys have. I kept telling myself, well, it's December. Like, this is the worst time. All these people are going to be like having this excuse about Christmas and all this, like, and then it's going to be harder for them to get deals. And I bought into the bullshit, and I went back and forth with myself. And then I'm like, you know what? That's all lies. How do you know those things are even true? And fast forward to today, we know those aren't true. But like, guys, that like, I'm sure you could tell I did that, and the timing was terrible. It was terrible for me. I had a lot going on. I was supposed to go to Africa in December. I skipped it. Not only that, for those of you that were on originally, when we did that first call, and I said, hey, if you guys trust me, if you want to get into this program and you're going to get the discount, blah, 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 here's the page. And you guys went to the page. And if you remember, there was one option. It was to buy the program for full price. And guess what? I had actually planned on doing some kind of payment option, but I fucked it up and I didn't have time to fix it. So I'm like, you know what? The easy thing to do would have been, hey, we're going to push this back another day. I'm going to go figure this out. And people probably aren't going to buy it. And you know what? I was like, no, hell no, we're going for this thing. Full send, motherfucker. We're going for it. And we did it. And I probably lost a couple people that probably would have jumped on because of the payment plan, but I went for it. And I made the hard decision, okay? Those are decisions that I've made in the past 5-6 years that are the right thing to do based on my goals. Now, those might not be your goals. And your framework, your decisions might be different than mine based on what's your right. Your right is what's getting you closer to your goals, okay? I have to tell you, though, about this week, okay? So this week, just so you guys know, I announced a little bit yesterday. I'm traveling, and by the way, I will be on the calls. We will get the calls will be taken care of. You will hear from me. I'm going to be doing this call and the free call in a couple weeks from Africa, which is going to be dope. But I'm going to do it. It's going to be super late at night. I don't give a shit what time it is. I'm going to be on the calls. But this week is a weird week. I'm leaving tomorrow. And I knew, I'm like, shit, I got a lot to do. And I got 2 days to do it. And so I sat Sunday night. I woke up early Monday morning, and I usually can plan in 30 to 60 minutes. Didn't get it done. I came back up to the office Sunday, and I'm like, what do I do? What do I focus on? What? And the easy thing for me to do is just sales. That's the easy thing for me. Some of you guys, that's like the hard thing, and you need to be doing sales. But for me, doing the sales is easy. Okay. It really, really is. And so I'm like, what do I need to spend my time doing Monday, guys? And I'll give you a specific example. So in the free group, we have a ton of people that are joining the group. Okay. By the way, we are vetting them. I have over 70 people sitting in the queue that we have not approved because it just feels weird. Not sure if I'm going to approve them. So it's not like we're just adding. I could add 70 people today. Okay. We're very thorough about this, me and Fix It Felix. And we got this problem because we got all these new people joining, and they're all like, where do I start? You know, like, this is all great, but it's overwhelming. And I'm like, I need to create a training that I can immediately, when people join, I can tag them in this post. They can jump in, they can watch the training. It tells them about like the overall process. It kind of plants the seed that we do have a program, blah, 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 blah. Guys, that is the last thing I felt like doing on a Monday. You know what I want to do on a Monday? I want to go make some fucking money. I want to get on the phone and do deals. And guys, I still woke up and the first thing I did was a sales call. But after that, you know what I did yesterday? The one thing I needed to do is I needed to create that training so that I could stick it in. And then I made another decision inside of that is as I'm sitting there prepping for the training, I'm like, should I have people on it live? Because originally I was just going to do the training and I was, relaxed. I'm like, I'll just do the training. I could say what I want to do, whatever, right? And then I'm like, a thought came to my head. I'm like, why don't you just have people on live? There's a bunch of new people in here. Why don't you get them on live? And who knows? Maybe it'll hit one of them. You might get somebody in the group, whatever. Maybe you'll get someone in the group 2 months down the road. And I made the decision. I'm like, it's going to be uncomfortable. I'm not completely ready. This presentation, this training isn't completely ready. It's literally just a note. I don't even know what I'm going to do. And I made the right decision. I'm like, me having them on is going to get me closer to my goal because it's going to get more people introduced to this. It's going to potentially add more people to the group. So I made that decision based on that. So literally every single thing that I'm doing right now, with this, guys, with this call today, like no shit, I woke up this morning and I felt like dog shit. I'm sure you can see it in my face. I got bags. Like yesterday was a crazy day. I wasn't that run down, but I had normal sleep, but I woke up feeling like shit. I did. I felt really shitty. I woke up this morning and I had to be at the gym. For me to go to the gym today, I needed to be at the gym. I need to be up at 6. Okay. And I woke up and that's the last thing on my mind is going to the gym. I'm like, dude, this is not the day, not feeling it. But guess what? If I didn't go at 6:30, I don't have time today. I do not have time to go to the gym today unless I went at 6:30. And if I miss it and I'm like, okay, I'll just skip, then I'm not on my game. Like I wouldn't be on my game for this call if I hadn't gone to the gym this morning because I would have started with an L. I would have started being a little bitch, starting the day like that. So I made the decision. I didn't feel 100%. I was probably about 72%, coughing shit up. It's feeling gross. And by the way, for those of you guys, it's not COVID. I promise you it's not COVID. I can taste and smell just fine. And I have tests. Don't worry, I'm traveling. We've been tested. I made the decision that I'm going to be at the gym. With this call, guys, if you would have heard me this morning, I sound way better. If you guys would have heard me from the hours of 8 to 12, you would have heard my voice, which you can kind of hear it now. Dude, I sounded terrible. I looked at my schedule today. I got a sales call. I got to film a training. I got another sales call. I got this call. As soon as we get off at 3:05 my time, I've got another sales call. Then I'm doing an interview. And then guess what I'm doing when the kids are going to sleep? I got a sales call at 8. Okay, that's my day-to-day, and my voice is shitty, right? So you know what the easy thing to do for this call would have been is to take a rain check and say, guys, my voice is bad, and blah 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 blah. And you guys would have been cool. You guys would have been like, you know what? He's never missed, and I get it. He has no voice, but guess what? That just doesn't work for me. For me to hit the goals I want to hit with this group, for you guys to reach the levels you guys need to reach, for it to be successful, I got to be here. I got to set the example. It's not even about what I'm saying today. It's about showing you the example of, dude, I feel like shit today, man. I got a whole gallon of water right here. I feel like ass. I just barely showered for the first time today, just right before this. I do not feel good, but I show up every single day. The difference between big money and small money is the people that make big money, they show up every single day. It doesn't matter how they feel, okay? And I'm setting that example today. So for me, I had to be on this call. And then one last step further, my last example is as I'm sitting there and I'm like, what I do every single week, I'm like, okay, we had this coaching call and I'm not doing some bullshit Q&A. As you can tell, I'm a little bit excited about that. And I write at the top every single time. Look at this. I'll show you guys right here. What do they need? Every single time. What do they need? AKA, what is right, not what is easy. So I sat down and then I'm like, okay, I'll do the call. And then my little bitch voice started saying, well, just do a Q&A, man. Just do a Q&A. It's easy. You jump on. You don't have to prep for it. You don't have time today. You're tired. You let them do a little bit of talking. And I'm like, no, I ain't doing the Q&A. And then I'm like, well, just do something you already know about. No, this is what you fucking need to hear today, guys, is what I'm talking about today. That's why I'm talking about it. So I'm trying to show you guys that I'm not perfect. at all. Like I'm so far from that. And I've said this before. If you guys think that I'm sitting over here and I think I've made it, dude, I feel like a little guppy compared to the people that I'm around. I promise you that. The buddy that I always talk about, we went to dinner on Saturday. Motherfucker's making $3 million a month now. Okay. Used to be 2. I'm like, holy shit, what happened, man? He's at $3 million a month. Okay. And so if you guys for 1 second think that I'm sitting here thinking that I've made it, I haven't made it. I promise you I haven't made it. I don't feel like that at all. If I act arrogant, if I act whatever, it's just because I am. It's how I roll. But I do not feel like I've made it. And so I'm not perfect. But what I'm telling you that is every single good thing, the best things that have happened to me in my life, the best things that have happened to me in business are the times when I have literally sat down and I've made the right decision instead of the easy decision. Okay. So I want to ask you guys and pose a couple of questions to you guys. And then if we have Q&A, I would love to answer questions. If anyone wants to chime in, we can do it. If anyone wants to jump on, we can do it. But I want to ask you guys a couple of questions, and they're rhetorical, okay? And I wrote these down, okay? So, number 1, are you making decisions based, and like, again, these are rhetorical, but like, don't just hear this and be like, I don't have to ask this question, waste my fucking time, guys. I'm asking this question because I want you guys to internalize this. Are you making decisions right now in your life that are the right decisions, or are you, and I'm talking specifically with business, whatever you're doing in your personal life, I'm not coaching on that, okay? I do think that it spills over. I think it affects. Do I think that being healthy and physical effects? Absolutely. But we're not talking about that. I'm talking about business. With your business, are you making the right decisions right now? Or are you making easy decisions? Are you making with your business the right decisions, or are you making the easy decisions? Think about today, this morning, before this call. What decisions did you make that were the ones you needed to make? The decision like I made yesterday of, hey, I got to film this damn training. It's the last thing I have time for on a Monday. It's the last thing I want to do. It's the last thing I feel like doing. And I sure as hell don't want people on the call with me. Just wasn't feeling it. I threw on my damn sombrero hat and we ripped, and it was damn good. And I had a good time. I did what I needed to do and I got it done. And it's going to push the needle because now it just freed up a whole bunch of my time. It freed up a whole bunch of Fix It Felix's time. And it just saved us tons and tons of money by me getting that thing done that was holding us back because we were doing the same thing over and over. I went in and I'm like, okay, evergreen. I went into the office yesterday, which I didn't want to do. And I went in and I met with Francesca, which I do every Monday, or try to. And what did I want to do? I wanted to shoot the shit. I wanted to take a break. We got a client on Friday for spray foam installation. Okay. We got a twofer. Okay. We did it. It's 2 deals for $3,000, $1,500 a pop. And we've been doing some like our processes and stuff. And shout out to Eugene for getting me in on this shit that now has me consumed. They're not good. My agency in a lot of ways is duct taped together. I'll be the first to admit it. I know how to sell. I know how to acquire clients, but my processes are weak. And so we've had these antiquated, shitty systems for a long time. And I wanted to go in there and I said, hey, we got this deal and it's for so-and-so. And what I wanted to do was say, hey, just go do this one, like how we've been doing it. Just go and do it. That's what I wanted to do. But I knew what I needed to do is go in there and say, Francesca, we have to come up with a process, because us taking an hour today is going to save us 30 minutes every single time we get a client forever. So we're taking this hour and we're coming up with the process. And it was a strenuous mental freaking challenge after all the other stuff that was going on. And knowing I had that training later, like I should have been, I mentally needed to be prepping. And we sat down, we got to work. There was no bullshit going on. And we dialed in a process, and we got that done yesterday. We made the right decision and we moved the needle on my goal. My goal for Evergreen, by the way, is I don't ever plan on selling it, but I want to make it so that it's sellable. Right now, if somebody came in and they're like, yo, I want to take over your agency, you'd be like, like, what are these processes? What happens when a client gets signed up? It's all over the place. I want to get it dialed in so that it's sellable, so that it's functioning, so that it doesn't require me, so I can step away from it and it still grows. So I can step away and I can just do the sales and I'm not involved in anything else. And for us to go to that goal yesterday was we need to sit down and we need to come up with a process. We don't need to just do it for the however many time that we should have created the process. We just sat down, we buckled, we got through it. Okay. So next question. Imagine, this is more of like something I want you to think about, guys. Imagine where you would be at today if you had, okay, let's say a year ago, let's say last year in March of 2021. Think back to March of 2021. I know where I was in a shitty place mentally. I had some weird stuff going on. I sure wasn't doing this. Imagine where you would be today if you had followed this framework and every single decision you had made for the last 12 months, you had made by thinking, is this the right thing to do? Or is this the easy thing to do? Where would you be at today? Where would you be at? Where would your business be at? How much revenue would you be? How many clients would you have? What would you be driving as a result? What house would you live in? What city? What trips would you be able to take as a result of living like that for the last 12 months? Okay. What would that be like? What would today look like? I know for me, I'd be a lot closer to $1 million a month. I don't know if I've said this, but like last year, I had some crazy stuff happen with me, like some mental shit that I had never experienced. I didn't work quarter one. I did not work. I had a hell of a year of 2020, and I had some crazy stuff. I was like going to the therapist. I had some weird shit going on, man. It was wild. And I didn't work quarter one at all. And then at the end of quarter one, I went to Mexico with my buddy, 1st of April. And then after that, I kind of bounced out of it. And I'm like, and I didn't get serious till August. August, guys, I wasted half of a year last year. And we still did 1.475 last year. Where would I be at today if my framework in 2021 had been do what is right, not what is easy? Okay. And then the last question I want to ask you that's rhetorical is this. Where could you be in a year from today? March, whatever the hell today is. I don't even know what day. March something. March of 2023. Or let's just say December 31st of this year, because that's what our goals were set on. Where could you be if every single decision, every day when you sat down to plan, every week when you sat down to plan, it wasn't, well, let me just throw some shit on a paper and go back and watch Netflix and whatever the hell is the latest and greatest. It was, hey, I don't care if it takes me 4 hours, guys. I spent like 2 hours in the office, not doing anything, just figuring out how I could be the most productive this week in the 2 days that I have full days. I spent 2 hours on Sunday just thinking, what could I do? Where do we need to go? That's work. It's mental work. Where could you be? Literally ask yourself this. And I want you guys to take this question, get off your damn phone. And I'm the worst, by the way. Get off your damn phone like for an hour and just stew on that question. Where could you be in 12 months if every decision you made in business from here on out was based on doing what's right, not what's easy, regardless of how you feel, regardless of what's going on, regardless of all the other shit that's playing in? Making the decisions that are right versus what is, where could you be by the end of this year? I want you to ask yourself that. Okay. So this is what I want you guys to do. And then I'm going to open this up for Q&A. If anyone's got any thoughts, I want you guys from here on out. This is my challenge to you. I want you guys, first of all, we haven't even touched the surface on this, but first of all, if you're not planning your weeks or your days, you're crazy. Okay. You're wasting so much time, losing so much money if you're not planning. You should be spending at least 30 minutes, 15 to 30 to an hour or 2 hours on Sunday to plan out your week, period. Okay. And then you should be planning every night to figure out what's tomorrow. And here's what I want you to do. This is my challenge. I want you every single day, every single week when you're planning and thinking, where should I spend my time, to literally have that one question. I want you to write at the top of your notebook, write at the top of your planner, put it on your damn board. I don't care. Do what is right, not what is easy, guys. And if you want to get crazy and you want to really level shit up, because I've tried to do this in other parts of my life and I'm not perfect at all. But if you take that same framework for your entire life, you want to live your life by that framework, you're obviously everyone's going to be a little different, because what's right to me is obviously based on my goals and what's my standards and what's important to me. But all the personal things that have happened to me that are good have also come as a result of doing what's right, not what's easy. What was easy for me back when I was 19 was to go check into a college and get drunk off my ass and bang a bunch of chicks like most other dudes do. That and that was very aggressive. I'm sorry. But let's be honest, that's what most guys do. That's what would have been easy, right? And believe me, that like I'm a human. Like I like what's easy. That's what I gravitate to. That would have been easy. I made the right decision, luckily, and I freaking went to West Africa for 2 years. I went to West Africa, and not only did I not get paid, but I paid $400 per month to volunteer. Imagine that. Not only, so I paid $400 and I'm living in the jungles of West Africa in some very primitive apartments with no carpet, no running water, no nothing, shitting in these holes in the floor type of stuff. That's what I chose to do because to me in my personal life, that was what was right. And man, if you want to talk about a decision that I have one of the most satisfying decisions I've ever made is that decision to do that. That set the groundwork for everything else. That set the groundwork for me to have the confidence to go into door-to-door sales, which got me into this, which has got me to here, right? I mean, everything has stemmed from those good decisions. So if you guys want to go crazy, if you guys want to really level up your life, it's very simple. It's not easy, but it's very simple. Make the decisions that are right versus the decisions that are easy. Okay. So, that's my message today. I personally wanted to I needed to hear that today to get my, to be like, yo, this was like today. By the way, today's not even over. As soon as I get off this call with this shitty voice and the scratchy throat and it feels like it's on fire, I'm going into a sales call, right? As I told you guys. And then from there, I'm doing an interview, which I need to do. And then from there, I'm not going to deal with the kids. I'm going to hang out with the kids. And then I'm going back to the office to do another sales call because I need to get them in because I'm going to Mexico. I have to get them in, period, right? I have to get them in to breathe. That's how I want you guys to treat. We talked about this before. As soon as you make making an offer something that you have to do, just like you do eating or drinking or taking a shower, that's the moment that everything changes. And to me, I'm at that point now. If I don't get at least a sales, it's guys today, I'm going to get three deals. 3 deals. I got one Friday. I got one yesterday. And at this point, it's like, if I don't get, it's not even about giving a pitch now. It's like, I got to get a fucking deal every single day or I don't breathe. Every single day or I don't breathe. And that is why my income continues to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. And you guys wonder, like, okay, how the hell? I'm not saying you guys do, but I think some people are like, well, you got to go to Mexico and then you got to go to Africa. Like, when do you work? It's like, dog, when I'm working, I am working, right? And I'm doing the things that move the needle, the things that are right. That's my message. My takeaway is start implementing this. Start looking at that framework with every single decision that you make. Number one, start planning. And every single day, the night before the day and right when you kick off the day, are the things that I have planned for today the right things to do, AKA the necessary things to move me closer to that goal? If your goal is $50,000, should you be spending time on this stupid little thing, right? And if it's something that needs to get done, should I be spending on it now, or should I wait until tonight when I can get it done? A lot of times for me, I have these are like momentary things. Like I need some damn food. Today I needed food. It would have been really nice to get in my car and take an hour break and pick up Chipotle and come back here and kind of relax my brain. But I'm like, dude, I got to stay working. So I got on DoorDash. I paid a little bit extra money and I worked while the food was coming. Okay. Those little teeny decisions that are literally going to be the difference between making $50K a month and making zero. Okay. So that's it, guys. Take something from this damn call. If you don't take something and you don't apply something, this is literally a waste of your time. Don't get on these calls if you're not going to apply something. Follow my example, and you don't have to follow it in every area. But if you guys have any aspirations to get to $100,000 per month in your agency, check out what I'm doing, because I know how to get there. Okay. All right. Let's see what everybody's got. All right. Jeff says, Nick, coming at us with the hard truth today. I always need these kicks in the ass. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, dude. And every single person is, like I said, just to recap for anyone that's like a little bit late on the call. I got I got that's interesting person calling me. That's somebody from the other group, not the person you're thinking, but okay. And by the way, this is a good example. That call right there, I want to talk to that guy, right? And I can't do it right here, but like the easy thing to do would be as soon as this gets over and I get my sales call, I just go and I shoot the shit, right? But I ain't doing that. I can't. I don't have time for that call today. I'm gonna have to call him tonight, and that's just is what it is. Okay. But anyway, what I was saying is like Jeff and anyone that just got on, this is why it's so important that you have your goals mapped out. If some of you guys are on here and haven't watched the video called Exhausted But Satisfied, go watch that immediately. If you don't have your map done, go do it right freaking now. Because if you don't know what your goals are, how do you know and how do you define what is right? Right? You can't. You're just going to be blown in the wind. That's why it's so important that you set those goals and you have the map so that you know what right is. Okay, so good point. Marcus says exit strategy from the start. Absolutely, that's what I'm trying to do. And by the way, I'm not selling my agency, just so everybody knows. Don't get worried. I just like you guys should all be doing the same thing. You guys should be building your agency in such a way that it's sellable. Doesn't mean you need to sell it, but it's sellable, right? That's what you guys should be doing, period. End of story. You should. All right. Lawrence, I always feel more proud of myself after I take the uncomfortable action that day. Getting out of your comfort zone is where magic happens. Absolutely. In fact, I just saw a post in the group. I can't remember who it was, but somebody's like, basically like I've been a little bitch and I've been scared and all this different stuff. And I've been avoiding calls for 2 freaking years. I can't remember who this was. I don't think it was in this group. And they're like, I just got done. And what do you know? I got somebody hooked on trial. And you could just, and I just read through it really quickly. And it was like, I could feel that energy. I could feel that pride, that sense of satisfaction. And like they did something hard. And I think at the end, it was like, I'm freaking smiling and I'm sweaty as hell, but I did it. That person made the right decision today. And they're going to, and so true, Lawrence, dude, like, don't you guys want to lay at night? I know for me, when I have those days like yesterday, when I lay down at night and I'm like, dude, I crushed it today. I crushed it. It was uncomfortable in the moment, but damn, that was a good day. I got a lot done and I did the things I needed to do, not just a bunch of petty stuff, right? You know how good that feels? You guys know how good that feels. Imagine that every day was filmed like that. Like, oh man, it would be incredible. And I'd be willing to bet if I hadn't had the day I had yesterday where I had that productivity, that momentum, I did the things I needed to do and made the right decisions, today wouldn't be near as productive as it's been or as it's going to be because I wouldn't have had that momentum to carry me in. Okay. Franco, appreciate you showing up for all of us in the group. Yeah. And Franco, dude, I'm also not I appreciate you saying that, but I'm not looking for like, what's the word? I'm not looking for you guys to be like, oh, poor Nick. No, I don't give a shit what's going on. I don't care what's happening. I will be here for you guys. And I know you guys would be like, yo, it's cool. You're sick. But to me, it matters because to me, I don't want you guys thinking you can't show up for your clients. You got to show up, man. You got to show up no matter what you feel like. Period. End of story. You have to show up. And that's just, it is what it is. That's part of being in this position, right? When you're an employee, you call in sick. In fact, yesterday, one of my guys, he hit me up. He's like, yo, I'm feeling sick. I think he's full of shit. Personally, he's working from home. And he's like, I'm feeling sick. I'm like, I don't know I can't say anything. But that's the same guy who comes to me at the end of the month or the end of the year. And he's like, dude, I need to make more money. I need to make more money. And it's like, motherfucker, this is why you don't make more money, right? This is why you are always going to be an employee is because you do shit like this. You don't show up. You get a little sneeze. You don't show up. You're working from home, bro. You're in your pajamas, dog, and you're not showing up, right? So if you guys want to be employees, then that's a perk, right? But for me, I would rather forego the little bitch stuff and build my life. And that's what I'm going to do. Okay. All right. Julia says, Jared Bell, thanks. I had a brain fog and was thinking 2 p.m. PST. Glad to have you on, Julia. Okay. Somebody said, I don't know who this is. They said, that's why I like this group. It's real. So I can learn from people who had the same problems I do know. I do not know who that is. It says Facebook user, but I appreciate that. Okay. Does anybody, okay, here we go. Brad Hardy says, was a few minutes late, had another twofer getting on the hook. Brad Hardy, I gotta lighten this up a little bit. Brad Hardy has reminded me of one of my favorite words of twofer. I freaking love the word twofer. And dude, I appreciate you saying that word when we talked the other day. And good job, by the way. I got a twofer on Friday, and I've been using the shit out of that word. Okay. Russ says the lawyer came through. Guys, everybody, do not jump off. Let me tell you guys this. Russ has been quietly kicking ass. Russ is, if I'm not mistaken, and Russ, I might be blowing I don't know what you're planning to do, but I'm pretty sure, Russ, that you just barely crossed 10K. Can I get a confirmation on that? He has been quietly slaying deals. Russ, drop a post. Tell everyone what you've done, dude. You have been cranking. And for those of you that are not in the US, that are like, I can't do this, I'm in a different country, whatever the case is, whatever the excuse is, Russ has done it. And he just said, yeah, we did cross the 10K per month. Freaking love that. And we were talking last night when I saw his other deal, and he just got this lawyer, and he has added some incredible amount, like over $7,000, which I know other people have done as well, to his business since he started this. It's incredible. Okay. Chris, needed to hear that. Appreciate it. Thanks for being on, Chris. Appreciate you being on, man. I know it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's pretty late where you're at. Okay. Marcus says, Alex Hormozi influenced me on that a while back. I don't know what you're talking. Are you talking about this entire like idea of making the right decisions, or what are you talking about? But by the way, I love Alex Hormozi. If you guys haven't checked him out, he's dope. He has some really, really good stuff. He's unassuming, but the dude is brilliant. Okay. Not just sell. Who said that? Not just sellable, but scalable. Who is that? Somebody show your face. And then Marcus says, no, exit strategy. Yeah, I agree with that. I actually haven't heard him say that you should build with an exit strategy, but I did hear my friend Michael Gerber, who I really enjoy listening to. He's just a nice guy. Yeah, dude, this book is gangster if you guys don't have it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be on for about 15 minutes, 14 minutes. I'm going to open this up really quick, guys. We're going to close it down right at the mark. So if somebody gets on, just be mindful of that. If you guys would like to, this is a good opportunity. We got about, let's say 10 minutes Q&A. This is stuff that's pertaining to this, but stuff that you actually need to clear up. And guys, before you jump in and ask a question that's answered in the training, please make sure that you've searched the group. Okay. For the love of everybody, I was talking to somebody else, and actually let me share this before I start ripping into that. I'm going to share this in the group right now. So guys, hold tight. I'm going to add this right now into the group. This is going to be the link. I'm just going to post it in 3, 2, 1. Oh boy, there it is. Post. Okay. If you guys want to jump on, I'm going to be on for 10 minutes. If you guys have a question you would like to ask, something you'd like to add, we got about 10 minutes, and go check the post. Yeah, this is the book, The E-Myth. Somebody just asked, Warren just asked, this book is phenomenal. The E-Myth, the Entrepreneur Myth. And I'm somebody that's had that book on my shelf for a long, well, I've had it in my Kindle for a long time. And then when I interviewed Eugene, I got to give him the credit. He was like, again, coming back to this whole point of like transfer of energy. He was so excited and energized about this concept and about this freaking E-Myth concept. I'm like, dude, I got to check this thing out. And I got it. And sure enough, it's freaking dope. So that's, again, go back to that transfer of energy. Ashley, what is going on? Good to have you on. So guys, I'm going to give it a couple minutes. If anyone has anything, great. I'll let you guys ask it. Question, clarification, something to add. If nobody does, that's great. I'm going to end it. Okay. So I'll give 1 or 2 minutes for anyone that's just jumping on. Like, for example, Ashley, the whole point of today, I'll do a quick recap of what we've been talking about. It is literally how we can live our lives, and how, especially with business, particularly with business, that every decision we make is based on doing what is right, not what is easy. That is literally the theme. You should need to go watch this. Julia's on. I'm going to add Julia really quick. Hang tight. Julia.
Hi.
Did you break away from the kids for a second?
Yeah, I kind of forced them to nap.
My wife's literally downstairs napping with my daughter.
Yeah, I made my mom nap with them.
Perfect. So what's
Yeah.
up?
So, really quickly, so there was like a lot of people talking about how to opt out of being on Google partner like website sites like the network or something, because I saw that a lot of my clicks were from YouTube and there was some from Gmail. So I was thinking maybe I should just have it all focused on Google search mainly. And then someone posted a link of a form that you can fill out. And then I think Jared said it took like, he did it like a week ago and he's still waiting to hear back from them. Anyways, this morning I just got on chatting with someone from Google Ads. And then that guy or girl just actually did it for me so that I'm only showing on Google search now.
Boom.
But then they said that it's no longer, or if I have to set up a new ad, I do it through Search Campaign, not Smart Campaign, because Smart Campaign will open up my ads to all the platforms.
Okay.
So anyways, it was pretty easy, and it only took like 15 minutes for them to do it. And then they said like in an hour or two, all my ads are just going to be on Google search.
Okay. And is that all your ads for that specific account or that specific campaign? Did they clarify?
So I have like my main MCC account. In the beginning, the first two ads that I didn't do it under my MCC. First, I just got messed up, and I just did like a new Google account, but I linked it into my MCC. So I have like 5 in my MCC right now.
Got it. Okay. And so they're saying that from now on, because you've done that, any of those, any of the campaigns you create under there are not going to be showing up on there.
No, they said if I do it, if I don't do like a smart campaign, instead do a search, I think I have the option of not having it shown on other networks.
Yeah. So, and I think, by the way, thanks for sharing that. I think it was Adam that shared that little article, which was super important and helpful. So guys, this is what I would say is I'm always interested in testing, trying, and like, so for example, if we want to go in and you want to try a what search campaign, for example, cool. But I also want you guys to realize like that we don't, there's that line, and we don't want to get hung up in too much of that. What I mean by that is I don't want you guys to waste money. I don't want you to waste money. I know that when it shows on Google partner site and stuff like that, then, sometimes it's not as good, or most of the time it's not as good. So I just want you to be careful, everybody that's listening to this. And by the way, that's great that it was that easy. But I know, like, I just don't want you guys to get hung up on the little shit. I have spent over $1 million. Have I lost money and it's run on YouTube? Yep, I sure have. But at the end of the day, I'm taking so much action that it's irrelevant. So that's super important. I think it would be interesting to go and set up I'll go and check it out. That's great thing. We'll go check it out. We'll set up a search and give the feedback. And if anyone else wants to do it as well, I'd love to hear what their results are. Okay.
Right. Yeah. I thought of maybe just like running 2 types, like a search and a smart. And then as long as all the clicks are under $5, it should be fine.
Yeah. I'm all for it. And again, there's that fine line. Like, of course, we always want to improve our processes. I just barely redid this 2 weeks ago, right? We talked about the new script. And I'm not saying this to you. I'm saying this just in general because I know how easy it is to be like getting so in the minutia of these little things. So yeah, let's go test it out. Let's see if we can solve it. But at the end of the day, don't get hung up on that kind of stuff. And I'm speaking to everybody.
Right.
Cool.
Yes.
That's excellent. Thank you so much. And I'm excited to see some wins in that group.
Yep.
Do you have anybody on the hook? Well, I got you. Do you have anybody on the hook? Where are you at and everything?
Linda actually helped me a little bit a few days ago just to look at some of my other existing legions. I think some of them are a lot of them are bad. They're in California. It's highly competitive. It's not low hanging fruit, but one of them actually is a paving website, and it's actually on page 1 in Google. Okay. So I'm just going to optimize that one, and then just keep doing more due diligence, and then keep making like better one-pagers. Okay. Like you told me to change that one homepage picture, so I did. So I'm just going to keep doing that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like on those one-pagers, they don't need to look great. But if you want to just take the one pager example that I've given, I know that one works. So I've done it before where I just throw up some shitty image, and it's like, first of all, if it doesn't look like the area, it's not going to deter everybody, but it could be hindering your leads, right?
Yeah.
Also, if it's a one pager already, it's like having a nice image is going to help. So
Yeah.
it's not a huge deal. I don't want you to spend a crazy amount of time. At the same
Right.
time, like if it helps, let's do it, right?
Yeah.
So, but so what's the plan as far as like, are you going to just with that paver site, are you going to use that one and try to get somebody on the hook? How many leads is it getting? Like, where are you at with that one?
I think it's only gotten like 1 or 2 calls before.
Total or this month?
Total.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my question. What is like what site are you going to focus on selling? Are you going to pre-sell, or which one are you going to focus
Well,
on?
I started an ad for that one lead gen site, and then
Okay.
I have like 3 other ads that are just for one pagers
Okay.
that I did the new due diligence on, and then so I'm going to try to pre-sell those and
Okay.
then focus on this existing lead gen as
Okay.
well.
Got
So,
it. Okay, so on those ones you have set up, are the ads running or are they just set up?
they're running.
Okay, and is it not getting clicks? Is it not getting calls? Like where are those at?
None of them actually got calls like that. The very first one, it was a concrete site and it had a lot of impressions, a lot of clicks, but no calls.
A lot of
I
impressions.
think that's the one that I posted.
Okay, yeah, and since how long ago did you make those changes, like to the homepage and that kind of thing?
I did more changes, I think like 2 days ago.
Okay. Is it how much are you spending every week? Like, is it $20? Is it $50? How much are you spending a week?
I think it's going to be like, it's already over a week and a half since I had it up, and it's maybe around like $70.
Okay. And so far, no calls.
No.
No calls, no forms.
There was one form that I replied to, and he didn't reply back.
Okay. So here is what I would do. If you get a form, I would call them.
Mm-hmm.
Did you call it or just email it?
Well, I realized actually when I got his form that I didn't have like the phone number option. Yeah.
I've done that. Don't worry. Yeah. So make sure and you know what I like to do too is what email are you sending? Whenever that happens, or let's say like sometimes they'll purposely put the wrong number in. I'll just shoot a quick email from my personal and say, hey, this is Augusta spray foam, right? This is Augusta spray foam. I put your number's wrong. I need a number to call you to give you the quote, right? And I'll just say, and I'll put Nick, or I'll say, this is Nick with, yeah. And if you do that, and it's not from like your agency or whatever, like Nick at Evergreen, blah, 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 it seems to work a lot better. But yeah, I have definitely done that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I just ran ads and I don't. Have you emailed just once?
Yeah.
Email again, and then again, and again.
Okay.
Because that's a lead. And you could use that lead to get somebody on the hook, right?
Yeah.
So email them. And then if you're still having problems, let's say by the time you hit the 100 or so mark, I want you to do another post, tag me and tag Fix It Felix. And let's figure out what's going on.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Julia.
Thanks.
Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap up. Again, as I always say, well, first of all, I want to touch on something really quick. It's brought an important point because I've been seeing some of the posts. I always want to test. I always want to keep innovating, all that kind of stuff. I'm down for that. I just want to be careful that you guys don't get hung up in the bullshit. Okay. I like, if Google's doing this and the partner sites, let's look into it. But I don't like, first of all, don't throw your hands in the air and it's not going to work. And oh my gosh, it's not going to work, Nick. Guess what? I'm still running them. I don't give a shit. I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out, guys. We'll figure it out. So let's test let's test the search campaigns. But guys, if there's anything that I could like give you, it's this like mentality of just quit worrying so much about stuff that doesn't matter. Now, I'm really glad. By the way, Adam, thank you for bringing that up. That's a problem solving situation. I love that. Instead of being like complain, Adam went in. He's like, hey, here's how you do it. Great. Let's figure it out. I'm just giving that word of caution that we don't need to go down the rabbit hole and get too upset about it. It is what it is. And remember, we are doing ads to get the deal Then we're going to use the ads to supplement the deal. And then we're going to turn them off as soon as we get this thing ranked. This is rank and rent. This is not arbitrage. Okay. This is rank and rent. All right, guys, take something from what I talked about today. Every decision you make do it for a week. Do it for the rest of the day. From today, whatever time it is, if it's 2 o'clock, which for Julie, where she's at, if it's 4 o'clock, if it's 5 o'clock, the rest of today being March 8th, I think it is. It's a Tuesday. Try it just today. Guys, I always say this. Don't believe what I'm saying. Try this stuff. Why would you believe me? I'm probably full of shit, right? You should assume I'm full of shit. Go try it. Try it for a day. Try it for 2 days. Try it for a week and see if it doesn't improve. Ask yourself as you get off this call, should I go and watch an Alex Hormozi video? I love Alex Hormozi. Great videos. I listened to one at the gym. It was a better option than music. But guys, is that the best, most productive thing of your time? By the way, I'm not coming at you, Marcus. I'm saying like you just brought that to my attention. I know you're sitting there watching that during the day. But guys, is watching Alex Hormozi at 3 o'clock in the afternoon what you should be doing? Or should you be making calls? Should you be doing another list because it's putting off the inevitable? Or should you be making calls? Okay. Linda real quick says, I jump on, but currently at my kid's soccer game, LOL, but I'm having success running ads in express mode. Takes me expert mode, 20 to 30 minutes tops. Cool. And you know what we might do, Linda? Sounds great. What we might do is we might have Linda come on, show us, boom, 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 how to, if you guys want to start messing with that, we can do that. Okay, guys, I'm out. We'll talk soon, and I will see you in the group.